Taiwan Special, episode 3 for the week. I don't know how long I'm going to make this one. You know, I'm looking through here what topics I've written down for the week. Okay. I'm gonna touch on two things here. I was in Vietnam, and I was talking to this guy and this girl. And the guy asked me what I thought about Trump. And now I realize this is Vietnam. The Vietnamese fought a war with each other, and they fought vigilantly against America because Vietnam was sick and tired of China trying to take over Vietnam and Sinicize them along with the rest of the world. For 2,000 years, the Vietnamese were holding the Chinese at bay. And their whole resistance was because they didn't want China. The Vietnam War was not about America versus Vietnam. It was about Vietnam versus China, and we idiots were in the way. Now, and of course, that's because we had a great successor. The president wasn't elected. He kind of inherited the office. I don't even, it's like, the guy dies, he becomes president. Well, maybe he can get reelected, but that he didn't get there by being elected. He was a great successor. And don't we know successors can tend to ruin things because they don't tend to know how to found stuff. If a guy that succeeds in an organization takes over after the founder's gone, if he knew how to run an organization, he would start his own, not take over someone else's. Okay. Well, that's the thing. The movie Inception had some truth to that point. I'll let you go research that on your own. So the thing is, he asked me about Trump, and I'm like, okay, well, this is Vietnam. I said, well, Trump's great because he stopped China. And the guy got mad at me. He goes, stop China. You don't need to stop China. And I'm like, are you Vietnamese? And this other girl goes, the guy's crazy. She says to this Vietnamese girl, says about this Vietnamese guy, the guy's crazy. He's crazy. We need to stop China. It's a threat. Trump's great because he stopped China. She says the same thing. And this guy's going, what? And basically figured out he was from Hanoi, which is the capital. They get Potomac fever, Washington, D.C. fever. People get that capital district attitude, like everything's going to be okay. Like you can totally destroy the country and it'll keep functioning. No, it won't. It's not always going to keep going. It keeps going because of certain wise choices that are made. America's government is not always going to have money. Once we stop making the choices that bring in the money is going to be gone. It doesn't just fall from trees, money. And you get people in the capital district, they manage, but they don't generate. They inherited and oversee what someone else made, but they don't know how to make something initially themselves. And this guy had that. And I finally, I brought it down and I said, okay, here's what's going on in the conversation. There are generally two types of people where society and government or governance is concerned. You've got the founder creator guy who knows how to create something. And then you've got the manager guy who knows how to manage stuff. And there's truth and value and skill in managing someone else's money. It's called a steward. Jesus even talks about it. The problem is you've got the master who's the owner and founder and brilliant genius mastermind of the house. The house includes the business of the house. We're talking ancient society, the way things worked for thousands of years. You've got the house or the company, the business, and then you've got the steward. Master, steward. The steward doesn't know how to invent stuff, but he's supposed to be responsible with someone else's resources, what's given to him. And he doesn't understand all of it, but he understands a lot of it. So a lot of times remember I've talked in the past about public funding liberals, like liberals that are not liberal because they want to make the world like Cambodia. We're seeing that. But there's also a lot of people that are liberal, they vote liberal because they're public funding liberals. That's what I'm talking about. They're like this guy. In their skill set, their worldview is that of a steward. They're not founders and entrepreneurs and initiators who create new things and blaze new trails and map out roads where none exist and boldly trek where none have trekked before. They are people that manage stuff. They know how to build the road that's already been blazed. They teach people to drive on the road that's already been paved. And that's a steward. You've got these two types of people. And the problem is, in business, government, a nonprofit society even, they tend to hate each other. And I think it's fine as long as they respect each other. They need to have mutual respect. One guy needs to respect the other guy. If we do that, we're cool and good and clean. Okay. That's a thought. You know, I'm gonna close with this. I got a buddy who does sales. He's European. He works for a Taiwanese-owned factory. They have a plant in China and a plant in Burma, which, for those of you in Reed Rapids, is a country that's kind of in the Cambodia, Vietnam area. It's in the Far East. It's past Afghan. It's past the stands. Okay. Okay. All right. For those of you in Reed Rapids, okay. So. No, George, I don't want to say it's near Thailand because the guys in Reed Rapids won't know the difference between Taiwan and Thailand. So let's not confuse the people. So Burma. They got a factory in Burma. They got a factory in China. Now, this Taiwanese company, the boss is this really old guy. The young son taking over is like 50. They only accept money in US dollars. So like they have big clients. Like Nike could be one of their customers. I don't think it is, but I'm just saying. So let's say, Reebok or what, it can be stuff like this. No, this is the thing. I just got a DC bag, a board bag from Vietnam. It was factory liquidation because it was surplus or something. They put a little piece of thread in the wrong place and it failed the quality control check. North Face bags, a lot of brand stuff you can get at a discount, serious discount, because they're made in Vietnam. So, or it's just a surplus, But the thing is, it doesn't pass the quality check. But it's legal. The company allows them to sell the reject stuff so that the factory doesn't lose all their money. This is part of good, honest business. It's being merciful and showing grace. Okay, you made a mistake. You're allowed to sell it for a little bit. We're not going to pay you top dollar for it. We want you to make good stuff. But if you want the money, you got to do a good job. But if you make some mistakes, we'll let you peddle it off and sell it to poor people like Jesse over there. Okay, so. When North Face or those guys, if they want to buy from this company, they have to pay wire transfer, international bank transfer, US dollars. All right. So factory in China and Burma, they only accept money in US dollars, Taiwanese company. You know how Trump's trade war, ruined the economy and everyone's running out of China because of the trade war with China? Okay. Well, Taiwan's president, Tsai, the lady that Skyped Trump to congratulate him on the election, she made certain choices. China got mad, and after the last sword was sheathed, Taiwan's currency value went down. So Taiwan's money can't buy as much, and the Taiwanese are all mad about it. You should have let China take over, because without letting China take over our country, our money can't buy as many candy bars. And so, they're all upset about that. So she's unpopular for that reason. They're trying to use that against her in the campaign stuff. Oh, the dollar went down. The dollar went, with the Taiwan dollar. The Taiwan dollar went down because China's attacking us and we told them no and they attacked back. So that discussion's happening in Taiwan. All right. Punchline coming. So one of the European city slicker manager guys who didn't start the company he works for, large account customers, talking to the son of this Taiwan company, family business, and asked the son, the heir, what do you think about President Trump? And he said, I feel the same about President Trump as I feel about Taiwan's President Tsai. I love Trump because I have a factory in Burma and all the business is running away from China going to Burma and Vietnam in it. And I love Taiwan's President Tsai because I only accept payment in US dollars, so I'm trading up. Those are my two favorite presidents. And all in good humor and happiness, no insults or one-upsmanship. But the customer from Europe didn't really know how to respond to that because you can't argue with business. See you next week.